Welcome to my show. It's not a show. There's no dancers or jugglers. It's basically a bloke talking, which is essentially what stand-up comedy is, isn't it? A bloke talking. Sexist. What about all the funny female comedians? Like, No. Right. No. I'm not doing that. Okay, right. That was irony, okay? There's going to be a bit of that throughout the show. See if you can spot it, okay? Now, that's when I say something I don't really mean for comic effect, and you as an audience, you laugh at the wrong thing because you know what the right thing is. It's a way of satirising attitudes. Like that first joke, I used the old-fashioned sexist trope that women aren't funny. Now, in real life, I know there are loads of funny women. Like, I did it again. Well spotted. Good. I do see a doctor once a year or once every 2 years after I have medicals for things like this and TV shows, and I go private, right? It's 600 quid. It's 3 hours long, but they do everything. Blood sample, stool sample, urine sample, ECG, ear, nose, throat, bollocks, the finger, everything, right? And you have to fill out this big form, right, a lifestyle thing. That takes fucking ages, right? And I tell the truth on everything, except units of alcohol. I work those out, then I halve them, right? And when he gets to those, he still goes, oh, that's an awful lot, right? And I think I've won. I go, is it? And at the end of the 3 hours, they've got all the results back from the lab, right? And he's got this big computer, it's like a body composition, right? And from there, they work out your percentage chance of a stroke, heart attack, in 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. And mine's always about the same. It always gets worse with age, nothing you do about that. But I'm always like, I'm at the end of healthy weight. I'm just nearly obese. I'm just right, like that. I was pre-diabetic once, I had to sort that out. And now I'm pre-gout. Right? Pre-gout, right? And so he tells you all that, and then he goes, so what are we going to do about this? And I want to go, what do you mean, we? I've just paid you 600 quid, mate, right? You're going to fix it, and I'm going to carry on, right? You don't take a car to the garage, and he goes, oh, tyres are bald, the big end's gone. What are we going to do? You're going to fix it, mate, and I'm going to pay you. He went once and said, you need more fibre in your diet. I went to go, get me wine with fibre in it then. You know what I mean? I can afford anything. You must be able to invent that. Just don't. He said, you're heavily constipated. I wanted to go, get in there with a spoon, son. And then they always leave it right to the end. They don't even look up. They go, and can I give you a rectal exam? Which means I have to go, yes, please. I want to surprise me on the way out, do you know what I mean? Bye. Oh, and that's fine, thank you, right? But there's a big build-up, right? And as they're washing their hands, they've got to say, would you like a chaperone? No. So you're going to have your finger up my arse, and now you've got a mate watching? No, just do it. And they lay you on this bench, right, on your back to start with, like pants and trousers around your ankle, knees apart like a little frog, right? And they do the balls first, right? And I'm nervous at a doctor, I'm really nervous, so I've got no balls, right? He has to dig them out like a tortoise's head, you know what I mean? It's just like a little fist of fear down there, right? And I fucking hate it. I'm like that, right? It's horrible, right? And then when they turn you on the side and lube you up, go the finger up the arse, that's great, you know, not great, that's not why I go, but it's... me again, you were here yesterday, come on. But this one time, it was an old man, and it was still a doctor, not just an old man. Doctor said he couldn't make it, so I thought I'd have a go, right? There was a sort of like old school GP, he was about 75, little shirt and tie, tweed jacket, right? And he was sitting on an armchair, right? And he didn't put me on the bench, I was just standing up. And he went, oh, just pop your pants and trousers down, right? So he was a little lad, so he was like head height to my balls, right? And as I say, I'm nervous, doctor, so I jabber, I talk. I think if I put them off, they won't find the cancer. You know what I mean? Right? And so he started doing the balls, and I just went, oh, what are you looking for there exactly, right? And they usually go, shh, like that, and they come. And he didn't. He went, oh, that's a good question. And he sat back and he started telling me all about cancer, right? So now I'm just having a chat, right? And he went on for ages. He was loving it, right? And I remember it felt rude to do that. So I was going, all right, right. I do work out a bit. I actually joined a gym. Literally on my road, I discovered. I've got a gym in my house. I got bored with that. But I thought, if I join a gym, if I pay in advance, like pay a year in advance, right, then I'll try and get value for money and that'll make me go. Then I remembered, oh, I'm fucking rich. You know what I mean? I could join a different gym every day for a laugh. Just go along and go, there's £2,000. They go, see you tomorrow. I go, you'll never see me again. And I go about once a month and I sort of do 10 minutes on the machines and I sort of run home like that, right? I don't use the changing rooms there. I've got a thing about changing rooms, public changing rooms. I always have I know. I'll tell you why. I don't know if it's the same in ladies' changing rooms, but men are so proud of their offal, right? If I'm in a public place, I have a shower, right? 1 minute, towel, corner, pants on, right? There's blokes walking around naked before the shower, talking to each other, like that, after the shower. There was one bloke in the shower, way too long, right? It took ages, right? And he got out, no towel, just dripping wet, just went up to the mirror and started doing his hair first. I was in there there was just me and this really fat bloke once in the change room. I was getting changed, and he was there, and he was really big, like 350 pounds, right? And he was naked on one of those precision scales. And he was there for fucking ages, that. And I was looking at that, he was like that for ages. I wanted to run over and go, mate, you're never going to be an astronaut, right? It doesn't need to be this accurate. Just pop some pants on and take a fucking gram off. And I'm not having a go at fat people. I say, I'm fat, I'm overweight. Do you know why? Because I eat and drink too much. That's what does it. I don't judge fat people, I just know how they got fat. If I see a fat person, I go, well done, you know? You've eaten way more than you'll ever need, same as me, right? If I see a fat couple, I go, yeah, that works, right? But then as they're walking along, right, and you see their little fat toddlers, and you go, oh, that's not fair, right? And the mother always goes, they love cake. Of course they love cake. They're baby mammals. We're the same species as we were like 200,000 years ago. We've got a hunter-gatherer brain, right? All this affluence is so much faster than our human biology. So when you get one of those cakes from the supermarket that's packed with fats and sugar, your brain goes, fucking hell, that's amazing. Keep eating that. There might not be food tomorrow. But there will be food tomorrow. The fridge is full and your mum's on the phone to Ocado. You know what I mean? And now there's even a stigma, like doctors get in trouble for saying to someone you're overweight or obese. Like, no, that's a political thing. No, it's like fat shaming. It's not fat. You don't get cancer shaming. He's trying to save your life, right? There was a school that tried to ban the word obese because they said it was derogatory to, I don't know what to call them, round children, right? But that's the polite word. That's the word we invented, so we didn't say fat little fucker. Don't keep changing words because one person gets offended. Also, fat people aren't offended by the word obese. They did it all. They're happy with it. They're jolly, aren't they? They're jolly. You see a fat person go, all right, fatty. Yeah. Like, oh, yeah. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Yeah. And they go to the doctor, come in. Bloop. Doctor goes, fuck me. Oh. Am I obese? No, you're morbidly obese. What does that mean? Means you're going to die of it. Oh, does it? Oh. What, straight away or? No. You've got diabetes, so you're having your legs amputated soon. And then if you carry on, you'll die later of like stroke and respiratory heart failure. So, all right. Is there anything I can do? Oh, yeah, of course there is. You could start working out and eat healthy, you'll be right as rain. Oh, right. But you won't, will you? No. And I feel sorry for them, even though it's their fault. When you see one of those documentaries on telly, like The 600-Pound Man or something, and he's being winched out of his house to go to hospital, right? If you're dangling from a crane, right? and you see a film crew, right? You know you fucked it. And then, you know, as I say, then they wake up the next day and they've had their legs amputated. It's really sad, and they're crying and I'm crying. They're going, oh, God, why did I let it go this far? I'm so stupid. Then they get philosophical about it and they go, I never really used the legs. So... And well, then it's lunchtime, and so, you know... And they go to the nurse, you didn't throw them legs away, did you? Guys, do you ever act more working class around builders? I do. I can be walking around Leafy Hampstead, right? Book of poems, right? Scarf, right? Just humming Brahms, right? And if some scaffolders go, Ricky, I go, all right, you cunts, how you doing, boys? Like that. And I don't know why I try and impress them. I've always been fascinated with human behaviour, right? But as I said at the beginning, we're the only species that allows the universe to understand itself. But we see all nature through our eyes. So it all comes back to us. Why are we here? What makes us? Is it our genetics or the environment? The old nature versus nurture argument. The psychologist Piaget was once asked, what's more important for the intellect of a person, nature or nurture? And he famously replied, what's more important for the area of a field, length or width? All right, mate, if you don't know the answer, just fucking... But psychology, psychiatry, neuroscience, it's still in its infancy. And we still know so little about the brain. And 150 years ago, we knew nothing. It was all guesswork, right? And, everything was just mental. If you weren't a white, sort of heterosexual, married Christian man, right? If you deviated too far, mental. They just went mental, like homosexuality, mental illness, you were put in an asylum for life, or worse, tortured. Women who fell pregnant out of wedlock, mental, asylum for life, right? And now we understand things more, we're more tolerant, I think it's going too far the other way, though, because now nothing's mental. You can't find somewhere that nothing is considered mental. Everything is a syndrome or an addiction or a preference, right? I could have my legs removed, have wheels put on, identify as a pram, right? And if you say I'm mental, you're a bigot, right? Now, that's a bit hack, that joke now, isn't it? Oh, I identify as a thing then, right? It's a bit old-fashioned, right? But I'm going to leave it in to annoy people, right? Because that's the bit that'll offend people. Same as humanity. I talk about AIDS, famine, cancer, the Holocaust, rape, paedophilia. But no, the one thing you mustn't joke about is identity politics. The one thing you should never joke about is the trans issue, right? They just want to be treated equally. I agree. That's why I include them. You know... But they know I'm joking about all the other stuff, but they go, no, he must mean that, right? Like a joke is a window to the comedian's true soul. That's just not the case. I'll take on any view to make the joke funniest. I'll pretend to be right-wing. I'll pretend to be left-wing. I'll pretend to be clever. I'll pretend to be stupid. Whatever makes the joke funnier without prejudice. Okay, full disclosure, in real life, of course I support trans rights. I support all human rights, and trans rights are human rights, you know? Live your best life. Use your preferred pronouns. Be the gender that you feel that you are. But meet me halfway, ladies. Lose the cock. That's all I'm saying. That's all. And it's mad to think joking about something means you're anti it. Like, I made a joke about self-ID. But in fact, I wish self-ID had been around when I was a kid. I'd have used it to get shit. I'd have gone to my mum, Mum, I'm trans. She'd have gone, what? I'd have gone, I'm either trans or I need a new bike. Right? She'd have gone, you need a new bike. Website, it's a real website. It's called doesthedogdie.com, right? And it was set up because people would watch a film or a programme with a dog in it, and something would happen to the dog, and they turn it off. It would ruin it for them. It would ruin their day, right? So this website was set up. You could go to it, you could put in any film or TV show and ask, does a dog die? And someone would answer you, no, or whatever. And it's become a thing for anyone's phobias. Anything you don't want to see in a film, you just look up the film and they answer your question, right? So I looked up one film on here, Schindler's List. Absolutely real. Schindler's List, doesthedogdie.com, right? First question, does a dog die? No. Does a cat die? No. Are any animals abused? Someone answers, there is a chicken that's handled roughly, but otherwise unharmed. Now, I love animals more than anyone I know, but if I was Jewish, I'd be slightly offended by this avenue of questioning. Imagine that in real life. Imagine someone says, oh, yeah, my grandparents were murdered by the Nazis. You go, oh, what happened? Oh, they were dragged from their house and sent to the gas chamber. Oh, was a chicken hurt? What? But as I say, it's become, you can ask any question about anything. Someone says, is there child abuse? Is teeth damaged? Is there a hanging? Does someone struggle to breathe? Yeah. Well, yeah, yes. Someone says, does someone fall downstairs? Who's scared of slapstick? It's like... Anyway, so this website was founded in 2010, so it's run about 13 years, right? And the later questions start reflecting the times we live in now, and they get more and more fragile and narcissistic. These questions were asked this year. Check it out, Schindler's List, right? Someone says, are there any fat jokes? Would that make this worse? Well, imagine the real thing. Imagine I'm in a concentration camp, right? I'm naked, everyone around me is naked. We've got a commandant herding us towards a gas chamber, and he goes, move it, fatty, right? And I go, rude. No, that has ruined the whole experience, if I'm honest. Someone asks, is there hate speech? Yeah, there is. Suck it up, Buttercup. Are there any man in a dress jokes? Very few jokes. If you come to this film for a giggle, you're going to be very disappointed. But this one takes the biscuit for me. Remember, this is a movie set in the 1940s about arguably the worst atrocity in civilised human history. Check this out. Is someone misgendered? Fucking hell. This is quite sweet. Is there any anti-Semitism? Yeah. This is pretty much the mother load, right? Forget Kanye. This is off the fucking charts. Don't do that when you're talking about this. Fuck's sake. I was doing the graph. I was doing like that. This is off the charts. That's... Wouldn't things have been different if that was Hitler's salute? The whole thing would have been... He goes like, it's Hitler. Like, oh, yeah. This is interesting. Does it have a sad ending? Right? Someone says yes, and then someone else says no. And I thought about it. No, but then I remembered, if you've seen the film, if you remember, when the story sort of ends, Spielberg then tacks on a real bit of footage where he gets real-life descendants of people murdered in the Holocaust, and he films them coming into a Jewish cemetery, and they each leave a stone on the grave to represent their family members that were murdered, and it builds up, and it's very moving. And so I think I get the ambiguity. Does it have a sad ending? Yes, in the sense that 6 million Jews pointlessly lost their life, but no, in the sense there was still enough left over to build a little rockery. So... I asked one question myself on this. Is James Corden in it? I did look at one other film briefly, Titanic, right? And it's got all the same sort of questions. And the one where it goes, are any animals harmed? Someone answers, there were no explicit scenes of animals being harmed, but Rose did have a goldfish, which probably didn't make it. I think of the goldfish in the bowl on the sideboard when the boat hits the iceberg, and he's all like that, right? And people are running around going, "Ah, we're going in the water," and he's all smug then, and he's going, "Don't worry about it." "Oh no, not water." Oh, then he gets in the sea and he goes, "Oh, it's very salty, isn't it? It's very salty." I'll leave you with a true story. It's still on the theme of Does the Dog Die? When I was 7 years old, my mum took me to the cinema to see a film called Old Yeller. Beautiful film, yeah, made in the late 50s and sort of set in the Wild West on this homestead. And it's about a kid who adopts this little junkyard dog, and he calls him Old Yeller, and they grow up together. And it's a buddy movie. It's a love story between this kid and his dog. And eventually, when the dog's big and, you know, he protects this kid in the wild, he fights a cougar and a bear and a wolf or whatever. But towards the end of the film, the kid's about 13, maybe. It takes a dark turn. I remember the kid sort of looking at Old Yeller, who's locked in the barn, and the mother's suspicious, right? And she goes, "Is it Old Yeller all right?" "Yeah, he's fine, he's fine." But the kid knows that he's been bitten, right? And soon, Old Yeller starts foaming at the mouth and, getting aggressive. And the mother turns up with a gun, and the kid goes, "No." And she goes, "You know we've got to do it, boy." He goes, "Yeah, but he's my dog, I'll do it." And he shoots his own dog. And I was like in floods for like a year, right? Anyway, fast forward, right, a few years ago, I was on tour, I was on a train, and I get a text from Jane, and she says, "Oh, I'm finally watching Old Yeller." And I sent back, "Oh, enjoy," right? I didn't think, right? 20 minutes later, I get a text. "Nothing happens to that dog, does it?" Oh, I couldn't believe my fucking luck. I thought she knew, or... So I sent back, "No, of course not." 1 hour later, I get a text, "You cunt." Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thanks to everyone who bought a ticket. If you bought a platinum ticket, the money goes to an animal charity, and you've raised $2 million so far, so thank you so much. I even get a bit of stick about that on social media. There's always someone who goes, "Oh, why do you only speak up for animals?" And I go, "Well, because they haven't got a voice of their own except parrots." And I think that's why we don't eat parrots. Everyone around the world eats every other type of bird, don't they? Everyone in the world eats fucking chickens and ducks and geese and turkeys and ostriches. No one eats parrots. Do you know why? If you go and try and eat a parrot, it goes, "Fuck off, you cunt." So speaking up really does work, right? And that has sort of been one of the themes of the show, because I know in the real world, in normal jobs, everyday life, you get in trouble. People tell you off for saying certain things or thinking certain things or even laughing at certain things, right? They say you're bad for laughing at that. And some of you take it to heart. You go, "Oh my God, am I a bad person?" No, you're not. One, you can't choose your sense of humour. You can't, it's involuntary. And two, that's exactly what humour is for, to laugh at bad shit, to get us through it, right? And... And we've established you can't even choose your own thoughts. How often have you been on a train station and you've suddenly thought, "What if I just pushed that bloke?" And then you go, "Why have I thought that? Am I a psychopath?" No, you're not. You're the opposite. You're a safe pair of hands. You're testing yourself. You're reminding yourself how terrible that would be. You're a good person, right? I don't get that one. What I get is I'm talking to a really sweet old lady and I suddenly start thinking, what if I just spat in her face now? Why would I... Another theme of the show has been words change and I'm woke, haha. But here's the irony. I think I am woke, but I think that word has changed. I think if woke still means what it used to mean, that you're aware of your own privilege, you try and maximise equality, minimise oppression, be anti-racist, anti-sexist, anti-homophobic. Yes, I'm definitely woke. If woke now means being a puritanical, authoritarian bully who gets people fired for an honest opinion or even a fact, then no, I'm not woke. Fuck that. But here's the deal. To each their own, laugh at whatever you find funny. All laughter's good, and you're amazing. Good night. I'm at that age where I'm glad we haven't got a Harold Shipman knocking round. Do you know what I mean? Those of you too young to know who Harold Shipman is, right? He is our most prolific serial killer, right? He killed 300 people. He killed old people. That's my point. He'd have his eye on me, go, oh, give him a few more years. And he was a doctor, right? But the reason you haven't heard of him, right, is because he never appears in those lists of the worst serial killers. And he was, like, one of the worst ever, but he didn't act like a serial killer, right? He was a GP, he was old school, he had a little shirt and tie, little tweed jacket, little beard, little glasses. He'd do house visits, he'd go around to see Edna, 85. You all right, Edna? Yeah. Do you want a cup of tea? Yes, please. And he'd make Edna a lovely cup of tea, right? Then he'd just put her in a lethal amount of opioids, right? And he'd just give Edna the tea and watch her drink it and fall asleep and die. And that was it. He didn't even masturbate. You know? Yes, it is a waste, sir, yeah. And they reckon he got the idea when he was a little lad, Harold Shipman, little Harold Shipman. He watched his mum dying of lung cancer, being given morphine, and somewhat triggered him. He thought, I'll grow up, become a doctor, and I'll do this. I don't know whether it means that he liked the way the morphine got his mum out of pain. So these were like mercy killings, like, you know, reliving the kindness. Or the opposite, he was jealous of old people who lived longer than his mum should have, so he was punishing them. I don't know, doesn't matter. Actually, it does matter, because if you can really understand why someone does something like that, you might spot the signs in the future and stop a crime before it happens, you know. I always think that when there's a school shooting in America, right, it's usually some emo, right, who goes into a kindergarten, kills about 30 toddlers, turns the gun on himself, right? And all the eyewitnesses, they always say the same thing. They go, oh, he was a loner, he sat at the back, he was shy, he was bullied. Let's round those cunts up now. Do you know what I mean? It's like, go into a school, see who the bully's smashing up, right? Go, I'll take it from here, mate, thank you, right? And drag that little dweeb off to Borstal or jail or so. Go to the bully, go and find another one. You know what I mean? He's doing a great job, but we need more. But they're beating up future child killers. You get obsessed with crime and punishment as you get older. I've always been pretty interested. I studied philosophy at university, and a big part of that is morality. And I've always been against the death penalty. Right? I was a young liberal, and I was really anti the death penalty. And now I'm an old liberal. And I'm still anti the death penalty, but now I love it when someone gets killed doing something they shouldn't at the time. Like, you see a bloke in Brazil, a hostage video, he's got a young girl, he's got a gun to her head, and he goes, you won't take me alive, copper. And then the marksman just takes out his brainstem. Oh, I love that. Pause, rewind, all right? Or when a bullfighter gets gored to death. That is my favourite, right? Particularly when the horn goes up the arse. That, I call that a hole in Juan. Thank you. Or those videos coming out of lawless New York. You see them on Instagram and YouTube. It's someone with an iPhone. He's got someone, right, he's knocking over this little convenience store. He's got a fucking hoodie and a knife, and he's nicking all the booze. He doesn't care he's being filmed. He's going to get away with it. He's going to get away with it. Then, from behind the counter, comes a little 70-year-old Korean man who batters him to death with a broom. I fucking love that. I can't wait to be a 70-year-old vigilante. Just walking round Hampstead with a walking stick. Oh, but it's a sword. I paint it white as well to look even more vulnerable, right? Wear dark glasses. I'd see a gang of youths. I'd go over to them and go, so, excuse me, guys, do you know where the Nike store is? I want to buy some Air Jordans with all this cash. And as they go for it, you little fucking cunts. But the death penalty is not like that, is it? It's not in self-defence, it's not in the heat of the moment, it's cold justice, you know? Don't matter what you've done, you could have murdered people, you know? You stand trial, they find you guilty, they put you on death row, sometimes for 10, 15 years, which seems unnecessarily cruel, and then they murder you in front of witnesses. And it's from the Bible. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. The state says you murdered someone, so we're going to murder you. But if you rape and murder someone, you still only just get murdered. That's a loophole, isn't it? That's like... That smacks of misogyny to me. That's like the judge going, the rape was free, but we're going to... You know what I mean? Just once, I want the judge to go, right, you raped and murdered someone, so you're going to be taken from here to a place where you'd be hung by the neck and raped. What, at the same time? Yes, yes. We got loads of volunteers with dildos, right? So he sort of goes down, fuck off, fuck off. Okay, he's dead. Yeah, I know. Oh. It might work. But the longer you live, the grumpier you'll get. It's not just going to happen to me, it's going to happen to all of you. Because the longer you live, the more shit you see. And you go, oh, fuck, this again, right? And the more burden you carry. And the older you get, the weaker you get, so the burden gets heavier. And you go, oh, God, this again. And you can't die nowadays. You know what I mean? You go, oh, thank God, I'm dying. Oh, fuck, I'm back. You know what I mean? They can transplant every organ now. Whatever's got... Transplant every organ. Not your brain. That wouldn't make sense. You are your brain. So that would be an everything else transplant, wouldn't it? But I'd sign up for that. I don't care about this. It's to get this round. If I could leave £1 million to science, so when I died, suppose when I died, my body's crushed, killed instantly, but my head's intact. They keep that on ice, wait for a body donor. Some poor bloke gets his head crushed, put my head on his body, and I'm back. I know. Statistically, I will get a bigger penis as well, so... The odds are in my favour there, trust me. I wake up in the future, I see the scar and I go, oh, that's all right. You know what I mean? I go, oh, you've always wanted a big knob? I go, yeah, I've always wanted a big knob. I go, let's have a little bit of me time. So and I start, but then every time I look down, I go, oh, that's not my knob. Do you know what I mean? I go, oh, that's not my knob. Oh, that's not my knob. It's not my hand either, carry on. It's like, you know what I mean? I was doing an interview a while ago. I don't think the journalist liked me. He asked me this question. I thought it was rude, right? So I gave a fake answer, right? He said, so what have you got planned for your funeral? And I went, I want to be fed to the lions at London Zoo. He went, really? I went, yeah. I want the zookeeper to take up my big, fat, dead, naked, bloated body in a wheelbarrow, right? Just dump it in the lion's den, doof, like that. Loads of tourists going, is that the bloke from the office? Like that, and then 2 big lions come out and just start eating me. And lions, they start with the soft bits of the body to get inside to the rib cage. So they'd probably get a testicle each, wouldn't they? Because that'd be the easiest of it. By then, my testicles would be about a yard apart, so that'd be easy. They just start eating towards me. Like Lady and the Tramp, really. Romantic. So I said that as a joke, but he totally believed me. So much so that when he was writing up the article, he called London Zoo and asked them if that would be allowed, and they said, no, of course not, right? So when the article came out, the headline was, London Zoo refused Ricky's request to be fed to lions. Like I'm a fucking psychopath. My point is, you can't worry about what happens after you die. Don't live your life, let someone else worry about it. You're dead, you've done your bit, right? I know some people who really are stressed about what happens after they die, some religious people, and they believe in heaven and hell and all that. So now they're getting a bit, oh, have I been good enough? I mean, great, heaven's great, but hell, what if I go to hell? And I go, there's no hell. It's made up to frighten kids. Like, my favourite horror film of all time is still the original Exorcist, right? First time I saw it on VHS, right? I was blown away. I watched it again straight away. I loved it, right? And there's a bit in that that's meant to be the really poignant bit. And I laughed the first time I saw it because it was the idea of the devil being this crass and childish. You know the bit. So, the little girl's possessed by the devil, and they're doing an exorcism, and they're throwing holy water on it. She's hissing, right? They're going, the power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ compels you. And at one point, the devil makes the little girl turn her head round, and he makes her say, your mother sucks cocks in hell. Right? And the bloke, she said, he's devastated. He's like, because he's thinking, oh, no, that's the real devil. So he knows, so it's true, my poor mother sucking cocks in now, right? If scientists actually found the devil, I was wrong. There is a devil. They found the devil, they tested him, it was peer-reviewed, it won the Nobel Prize for fucking everything, because it would be the greatest discovery of all time, right? And I'd look at the science, I'd be mind-blown, but I'd go, well, you've got to follow the science. So, you know, yeah, I believe in the devil. I wouldn't even be belief, it would be knowledge. I'd want to meet him. If the devil actually existed, I'd want to see it for my... As long as I was safe, I don't know what makes you safe from the devil. But if he existed, we'd find out, wouldn't we? We'd, like, vampires live forever, but now we know a bit of garlic really fucks them up. So we discover something, like if you put a devil in a cage with a sprig of parsley on top, he's weak or something, right? And I'd meet the devil, right? And I'd go for an order, and I'd go, he'd be there. I'd go, you the devil? He'd go, yeah, right? And then he tried to hurt my feelings. And that was his best shot. And he went, Rick, I go, what? He goes, your mother sucks cocks in hell. I go, I don't care. I don't. 1, she's dead. 2, she was heterosexual. 3, she never had her teeth in towards the end. So, no. But it's hell. Think of all the terrible things that could be happening to her. Being raped by red-hot pokers, rats eating her eyes. My mum gets cock duty. Go on, girl. That has got to be one of the better jobs in hell, isn't it? It's like... terrible job on earth. I've never sucked a cock in my life. I never will. But if I died and I'm in hell, right, tortured for eternity, I'd see the first cock, I go, I'm on this. Not a problem. Not a problem. I'd be looking round seeing people skinned alive. I'd chow down. I'd be looking over the big man going, I'm doing a great job here, leave me on this. And there's the devil with a clipboard looking a bit confused. No one's ever gone straight for the cock. But he goes, OK, carry on. I go, right? So, when I said minge, I pointed. The most frequently asked question I get about the Golden Globes is always, was someone so angry about what you said about them? They came up to you afterwards and I always go, oh God, no. I wouldn't even say if that had happened, because I don't like gossip, to be honest, right? There was one guy I thought took it the wrong way, right? It wasn't a bad... No, the cameras went to him, and I'm not in control of the cameras, so I think he was caught in the headlights. It was Elton John, right? But it wasn't a bad joke. I was introducing Madonna, okay? And I later found out that him and Madonna were in this feud, and he hated being mentioned in the same sentence as her. But I didn't know at the time. I was confused, right? And it wasn't part of the monologue, but I'm there for like 3 hours, right? And now and again, the stage manager put her head around the door and go, do you want to introduce so-and-so? And I go, yeah, fine. And I come out and I either do it straight or I ad-lib. And this was little ad-lib because I saw Elton in the front row, right? So this was the joke. I came out and I said, our next presenter is the Queen of Pop. Not you, Elton. Sit down, right? And he sort of went to him, he sort of went, and I was like, oh, fuck, he hated that. And I was thinking, why is he, I was like, oh, God, do you think I'm homophobic? Oh, I'm not homophobic. That's always in my head. Then I thought, he must have heard worse, right? In the 1980s, right, when Elton John was in the closet, he wasn't out, he was married to a woman, right? He was also chairman of Watford Football Club. And he and his then wife would go along and watch Watford play, and the entire crowd would sing, don't bend down when Elton's around or you might get a willy up your arse. Which puts my little quip into perspective, doesn't it? I don't know how football fans know how to start at the right time in the same key. Do they hand out sheet music before a fucking...